All right, folks, this is episode 3 here of Campaign 19, and we begin with the problems we left off with in episode 2. That would make some sense. Probably too much for this channel, but yeah, this would be the problem here, which is that we're trying to withdraw. So this is one of like the annoying things about this game. Yeah, is that when you try to withdraw, oftentimes you get kind of met with this repeated. All right, so they're already retreating. So you're there. I don't know if or where Casey's trying to go to, but we're gonna try to call up three divisions to us. You know. There is a rail line here that could bring Gerard to action, probably before we want to, but you know, you can't. Yeah, we probably want to try to ride those rails as much as we can, so we'll do that with Curtis's division. We'll see if we can bring in 2 more divisions. That would be very okay for me. I don't know why Lovell does not want to get on that railroad, but maybe there's something going on here with, well, just other things. I don't know. Oh, okay. No, Lovell's on, Lovell is on the trains. Sheridan is pulled back for the time being. Burns is still this. Okay, now he's on the trains. All right, so we are going to get reinforcements here. First 2 episodes were a pair of battles, ultimately successfully. So, you know, spoiler alert, but McDowell actually led the way. And, yeah, Patterson fought in the last one, and he does not. Yeah, I think we're going to be on the attack. We probably need the supplies. I mean, Virginia's a slog. It's definitely BYOS. Problem for McDowell is, do I go with... So we have flank column. Hopefully the supplies helps with readiness. Intelligence gathering helps with readiness. His other his general weak spot, I've said this in the other episodes, is readiness. Just it takes him a while. Embedded reporters wouldn't be bad. I feel like expert scouts is going to help with. I mean, that is definitely one that I like. It would certainly help him in what is his weak point, which I think is getting readiness. I'll try it and just see how it goes. It's a division, right? So, like, you know, we don't... Ooh, this is... Well, Loring might come in and cause us some problems. Meade is the 3rd division here. I'm a little concerned about fighting 3 versus 2, but for whatever reason, it seemed like the CSA's divisions were quite small. Smaller than I made them. I don't know why that is, but yeah, unfortunately, we have fallen to CCC in terms of credit rating. Ugh. Are we actually going to CCC minus? We might be. National debt looks like what? Yeah, we're taking it on pretty quickly, but we'll try to claw it back later. I don't think there's too much we need to focus on right now. We can get a credit rating back. We are actually working on... What was it? Yeah, okay, so it is government funding 2, and I don't know that we go straight government funding 3 and then the bank acts for the credit rating boost. Maybe. The thing is, they're big hits to support, but they also bring in a lot of money. Yeah, and they help the credit rating, and those are... You can improve the credit rating. The Union has more ways to do it than the CSA, but the CSA can still do it in a lot of ways. Well, I should say they can do it in several ways. Really, the Union's secret weapon, I think, is Bank Act 2, which is going to give them additional 2 credit levels. Otherwise, I've changed improved credit rating because it's too easy to spam, and then you never really have to worry about money. And so you got to strike a balance between allowing the sides to actually use credit rating and then not making it so abundant that nobody ever has to worry about money, because then, like, what's the point? Right? This one, I think we're going to take. Oh, this is back east. I would still take this one. So Meade out. Even before Meade, our McDowell and Patterson are as large as the other three. I don't know what is going on with the I'm trying to not play CSA at all, but it feels like the AI is messing with the OOBs that I've established, and they shouldn't be. Basically, the CSA's OOBs should closely resemble mine, and here by, I think it's, do we move in July? And I did that recruiting back in the middle of April. Those troops should have mustered, so I don't know if the CSA did something weird. Well, really, it's the AI did something weird to the CSA, but maybe I'll have to check on that after this. But for right now, it looks like the battle, we'll start out with an advantage numerically. If we have to attack, that'll probably be nullified by the time it takes us to get to the objectives. But then Meade will come in, hopefully yet again, and give us a numerical advantage that we can use to press home and attack if we have to. We also have pretty good readiness. We know that two of these divisions from the last two episodes, they have not done well. And this division that came over from Winchester, this I think is going to be their first battle. Oh, and we get to defend. Oh, but unfortunately, ugh, we have to defend Centerville. We actually only have to defend one of them. Centerville or Blackburn's Ford. So where is the CSA coming in? Interesting. So they're all coming in from over here. So, the Warrington Turnpike to Braddock Road and kind of this rocky run could be a defense. I'm not trying to corner camp, but it's just, I hate when these points spawn. But we could try to make Rocky Run a defensive point that would cut off a move. If the AI tries it, or if they come through Sudley Springs and come up, I mean that's a weird. They would try to go over, without the road. Either that or Blackburn Forward, where I assume the CSA would be on its side. I think the solution here is to find where the AI is. I don't love Blackburn Ford as a point to have to defend from this side because, like, to defend, actually, you know what? As I talk myself out of this, it becomes a real choke point, but that can allow the other side to amass a larger force and you will have a limited front. You can kind of support it from the backside, but you know what? Who is actually here? All right, we don't need to, we can just go to the OO base. So McDowell is actually here. Patterson 1 hour. Meade 14 hours. And it is 7:30 in the morning, so pretty much Meade is going to be a day 2 unless it's just very, very close. So we do that. I mean, yeah, we can hold, if we just hold one of these points, it at worst it becomes a meeting engagement, and then we don't have to come forward. And if we hold both, then they got to come for us. So I like the idea of maybe putting breastworks into where the road, where the terrain slopes down. Maybe we do that. I'm still getting used to how I modded some of this. So, all right, we can move everybody with McDowell back. We know we're going to detach the artillery anyways, because that's what I do. And just while the Cavs here, we're going to put them to evade, detach. So when we give McDowell general orders, it's going to be from it's going to be for the infantry. All right, so I think we're going to want to send the Cav out this way. Yeah, you are, Cav. We're actually going to want to, I want to move McDowell up here. Yeah, it's tempting maybe to try to play out here But then if the CSA just comes around, it's going to be rough. All right. Any word from the commander? How do we want to do this? If the CSA attacks, I feel like it's... Can I build it out there? You know, we'll have it overlooking the stream here. Here. Because I'm trying to be cheap about how I use this. I'm trying to draw a smaller line here. I guarantee you nothing. All right, these are more limited, so we'll give them an upgrade. That seems okay. So that's us using all of our engineering points. It was it's a bit of an odd spot. Keys for right now, I think, can move up here. 2 balls battery is probably fine. You know what? Right about where it is. And we'll just move it along the roads to where we need it. Heinzelman can stay here, and right, that's 2nd Brigade. You know what? It can stay right where it is. We don't need to worry too much about the rest of this. I think we'll just press play and go from here. Right has some scouts out. I think we're going to send him up to the Stone Bridge, and we're going to send McDowell with him. McDowell doesn't order. You know what? Palmer is here. I forgot. He was way up here. So yeah, we'll move Palmer down. Speed things up. All right. Yeah, and because Patterson's up here, we should now... Ooh, what do we want to do with right? We know they came in this way. Maybe we move him up here. Keep McDowell close. And then move... I don't know what I was doing here. I think I meant to move the entire brigade, and I just moved 1 regiment. But we'll put Heinzelman there. Keys here. And you know, do we start cheating Hunter down towards Blackburn Ford? I think so. Because with Patterson coming in, it doesn't feel like it's as big of a concern. So let's see. All right, poor Nagel, right, from last battle. Well, he actually got out really well, considering how terrible his morale and everything else was. But all right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna wait for those orders to go through. Then we'll order Patterson down, I think, to take the north side of Centerville. And when we start to find where the CSA is, we'll flex from there. Oh, look at them. Look at them. So that's what we're seeing so far. Oh, no. They're going up to Sudley Church. All right. That's why we put our eyes out. You know, I think we just keep right there for now. If how the heck can... Actually, you know, well, it defies a bit, but I guess we assume that they're not actually just here, that they're kind of in this area, right? All right, so that helps. Because if we know they're moving up here, then we need to worry a little bit more about the push toward Blackburn. Yeah, I don't really care how they get there, but they do need to get there. You know what Tidwell might be able to do? Where's the road over here? He could probably set his battery up. If they're going to attack during the Warrington Turnpike, you know what we're going to move Tidwell's battery here. It's near the road. If they come down the Warrington Turnpike, we can push it up. And if they don't, we'll put it back on the road and probably bring it down to the crossroads. There's high ground, well, here, obviously, but there's also this high ground right here near the crossroads. Because artillery moves slow, I like to keep it near roads if we can, but generally just not encumber it too much. Yeah, and I think the move for the rest of McDowell is to maybe have his infantry start to cheat alongside. We'll let that movement play through. Let's see. This is what? Benham's artillery. That we can put up on the north side of Centerville. And then it's just a matter of Nagel's cavalry. Which I think I want scouting up the Braddock Road. Yeah, so we'll do that. All right. Wright sees what's coming here. So we should probably fall back. McDowell, to reduce order delays, should also fall back. Beauregard arrives. Yeah. All right, Heinzelman. We'll have Hunter move down to the crossroads. We'll have Keyes basically replace Hunter. And then Heinzelman can fall back here. And basically, Patterson will man the defenses around Centerville. If McDowell needs to be called back, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're losing sight of some of them. So maybe we need to move up to the tree line there. I think the AI I think it always kind of knows where you're at, and I think it tends to try to avoid entrenchments. And so knowing that about the AI would lead me to believe that they'd probably look to go to Blackburn Ford. I don't think that there are great ways to take it, but we can try to delay it and at least make them pay to take it. But we'll find out more very soon here, where we find out what this group does. Whoa, yeah, you can see I'm still working through the zoom mods. All right, so we can see with our eyeballs that they're moving up there. Is that showing on our map as well? But really, yeah, it is. We just want to find out what they're doing from there, because if they push far to the south of Stonebridge, then we know they're going for Blackburn. Again, this doesn't tell us anything until we see them come across the Stonebridge. And all right, so maybe they are coming up this way. And in that case, we just bring right back to here. We bring McDowell back to here. Palmer can fall back to there. Hunter, I think, could stay there. All right, Nagel's doing his scouting thing. That's fine with me. Let's see here. I think we can. Yeah, we gotta kind of let that play through. Heinzelman. Yeah, you're not gonna be that far away. You'll be all right. But it doesn't look like Keim has anything to worry about. So we can get him there. We can push Cadwallader up here. And there should be another infantry brigade. That was... Okay, so Sanford would be the other one. And I think they need to come up here as well. The artillery situation, if it's an attack down here, probably, sitting, yeah, like we're right up here on the road is good for that. It's still possible the CSA might come down, and then come over here and put themselves between Blackburn Ford and us. I don't know, it looks like the forest is... I guess we'll know by what we don't see soon, right? If we don't see them soon, we assume that they go south. McDowell, yeah, it should be fine, actually, for what you're going to do. Yep, that's fine over there. Nobody's come up top, right? Or I was gonna say poor Nagel if that is happening. All right, play it faster. I guess I don't know if faster is better, but apparently right can just look straight down the road, the turnpike, and see them.
No foraging. You stay ready.
I've never heard that one either. I'm glad I'm hearing all these. I mean, they put all that dialogue stuff in there. I mean, it was a while ago when they were still updating the game on a more regular basis, but I actually like that. Uh, Reminds me of the Company of Heroes 3, and it might have been an earlier Company of Heroes, but I didn't play earlier ones, so I don't know. But what are these units doing? This is some sort of very odd, very odd thing here. All right, Cadwallader, why don't we put you, yeah, over here. Sanford, why don't we put you over here? We'll figure out the exact details soon. Keim can go there, though I don't really know that he needs to be. I don't need Nagel that far out, and what I'm concerned is that if there is a group over there, I'm going to focus on what's going on over here, and it's just not going to help. So I think if we move Nagel back, this would be enough forewarning if somebody's going to come up the Braddock Road? Yeah, Braddock Road. Comfortable with that. All right, we know where they're going. There's no point in getting right killed for no reason. All right, and then knowing that, we're going to move Tidball's battery up. Looks like the crest is maybe up here.
Make sure the casings are
Right,
full.
but they should be coming through here and then reappear right up here. So I think this is fine. Again, it's a little bit off the road, but it's not too bad. That's that. McDowell can now... All right, so Wright can definitely move back. And maybe we'll just put him down there. Keys. All right, Heinzelman, everybody else. Heinzelman can move here. Keys can move maybe up here. And then Hunter can take his place closer to the infantry over there. Then I just wonder. All right, McDowell, get back. Then I just wonder. Oh yeah, Palmer's there. That's fine. What does I can't remember this guy's name? Benham. How does artillery see it? Looks like we're too close to the map edge to get a great look. It looks like, right? Once the CSA comes down this part of the Warrington Turnpike, it looks like at least some of those guns should have shots.
Yes, sir.
We'll give them canister. Yeah, over friendly troops. Yeah. Sure, you will. We'll try that angle, see if that helps. Okay. Clearly, yeah. All right. So you're getting the word now. That's fine. We'll push skirmishers out. They should be close to the creek bed. That is fine. And we're waiting on them. Oh, those were the Cav Vedettes, I guess? Yeah, we should still scout over here because I don't know who else they've sent. So the logic here is, right, with skirmishers in the creek bed, they get that cover. And then with parapets here, if the CSA pushes them off, we should have, right, level 2 parapets are going to give you much better cover and concealment than the creek bed, and so we should have an advantage shootout there.
Keep calm, boys. Soon enough.
Do you have the creek bed? Yeah, you do. We could put them. What? How did they do that? Oh, you know what? Yeah, it was whatever that force was. It was whoever those reinforcements were that I got the note about. I don't know if it was Beauregard or who, but all right. So we know that. How does that change our plans? Well, we can try two things. One, I can try to rush McDowell down here and to keep them in Blackburn Ford. And then let Palmer take care of this. The other is to try to reorient McDowell closer to the main force up here. Problem is, this ground here is really not. There isn't like good defensive ground, or at least great defensive ground. I mean, there is this high ground, right?
Right shoulder, shift, arm.
So they have their shots over there. It just seems like this force from the CSA is going to hit our lines before this one does. Yeah, and they are coming. These guys, are they doing anything? Because if they're going to be held up by friendlies, I'm going to have them take Tidball's place. And then we're going to have Tidball face south. And as I say it, I've already decided to do it. So I don't think we're going to try to jam them up. That would cause... First of all, we may not make it in time. It takes us further away from friendlies. But I think instead we're just going to kind of reform. And maybe... I mean, that's what we're doing with Tidball right now. But maybe, actually, we just bring them closer to the road. We let them shoot for a little while. Where are you going, Hunter? All right. We'll have Hunter push into the woods. He can always fall back if it gets too bad. Heinzelman... can certainly bring himself over here. And then I think the plan would maybe we just, if we lose the high ground, and this is some high ground, we could fall back to the cover of the trees in the creek and, you know, dare them to get us from there. But those are the only thoughts I have. That also means I need to call back Nagel's cavalry, which at this point is just, I don't think we're gonna get out in time. We gotta call, yeah, get rid of the scouts. Heinzmann's coming. Hunter's gonna be going. Keys does not need to be there. Maybe we call Keys out right here. Partly to protect the artillery, but also we can just fall back. But that way they should be able to shoot from that ridge, and then they can fall back to the forest if they need to. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. And I would say if we can't really change our mind again, the downside is we're not gonna have artillery waiting to shoot them as they come in, but I don't know. Can't defend everything. All right, so we'll do that. Then we'll call out skirmishers from that group. It's tempting to already shift this brigade south, but I feel like when I do that, I'm going to end up needing it over here. I mean, we might be able to just I don't think we can recall it back here. Right, that's Heinzmann. Poor Heinzmann's guys have just marched all over the place, but that does happen. Oh no, right. You did not get out? I don't understand. Like, McDowell is here. All right, he is moving, right? Wow, we got out just in the nick of time, and of course we can slow down now. Losses were not significant. All right, so I guess their skirms did not like that at all. We're just going to call for skirmishers right now from these groups. I'm glad they're set to medium range. It's my preferred range. And yeah, all right, you're going to go to the creek bed. You're going to go to the creek bed. That's fine with me. You all, I know it's a bit further than you'd like, but a lot of friendlies around. You can go up to the creek bed as well. Oh, there are CSA over here. I guess they all have the same idea. We'll have Nagel push up here to see if the high ground helps at all. I'm skeptical it will, but you don't know. Cav is out. Cav is down. Alright, we're going to push down. We can always fall back up the hill. But we're going to push down, kick out skirmishers. And then if we get pressed too heavily, we'll fall back up the hill. That sounds like it's coming from the attack on Centerville, like head on. And I'm not trying to sound sarcastic or whatever. I'm actually very happy. I have no idea what happened, but I'm really glad that on the attack, the AI is advancing behind skirmishers. I know it takes a lot. I know it takes a lot to make me happy, but this actually makes me very happy.
Check your weapons, keep them clean. Calm, boys.
I think it looks super cool, and I think it's also smart. I mean, there's also that. we'll see what they come up with here. Hard to believe they had to saddle up just to walk up that hill, but alright. Oh my goodness. You know what, guys? Forget I mentioned it. Forget it. I don't know why you're going that way. Yeah, we might as well just set you up anywhere, but I don't think you're going to have a chance to get those shots on. Alright. That's how close they are. I'm kind of overconfidently assuming that this is just going to be fine, and that the real press is the press from the south. Alright. If Nagel saw nothing, it's time to recall him and maybe get him back into this fight. So of those guns, alright, so several of them I guess can shoot. They can do something. Here, we'll just move them up out of the wood. Oh yeah, you should probably not move in front of your friendly there, but... Is there a fourth battery? I think there should be. Who's there? Doubleday, McCall, Willard, and Carr. Willard. Where is Carr? Oh, look at him. He's so sneaky. Look at that. What a sneaky guy. I love it. Those guys are also unusually tall, I think, but... That looked super cool. It did. I'm amused at these sorts of things. Ah! So the CSA is starting to beat back our skirmishers. That was to be expected, and yeah, this is actually a... Yeah, we need to kind of get right here. Heinzelman... you probably need to pull up. Here, we'll have Heinzelman come up here, and then if Tidball has to fall back, we can have Keys and Heinzelman shoot in, and Heinzelman can also support Hunter. This cab we also probably might just pull straight back down the road. I'm a little concerned that my artillery here has not found anything to shoot at. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's how we say hi. Alright. Yeah, Keys is gonna go there. Alright, is Hunter's at his position? Have him throw out skirmishers. So is that gonna be on the ridge or behind it? I don't know what you're trying to do here, but you should focus on the fight in front of you. Oh, and I guess they didn't like what they saw. Alright, I'm not sure what was going on here. No reason for that. Oh yeah, and you almost got... Oh, it's Butterfield. And now you don't mount? I don't get it. So they seem to be withdrawing from this completely understandably. Butterfield, I guess that's kind of how you end. I think it is time now to start moving Kimes Brigade over here. So we will do that. And, yeah. I'm assuming that this is all going fine. I mean, that first regiment seems fine. McClernand seems fine. Butterfield should rally. Crammed a lot of troops in there. We can just check at the brigade level. It's okay. I mean, 120, you know. All right, let's move the brigade up a bit first, and then we'll throw out some skirmishers. Man, these guys are like committed to that angle, but I don't think they need to be. Alright, if you guys are... I'm not sure exactly what we're doing here. I mean, if we're just trying to hold them up, that's fine. We can wait for that attack on the center to kind of peter out and then go from there, but... That's that. The situation over here, yeah, they called off this attack. Several of those units did not seem to be doing well with morale when they came in. Are these... Wow. Thomas is getting cooked here. I think maybe to save Thomas, we just pull him back and move Williams up. Yeah, I guess Thomas just got focus fired down, but... You guys no longer have anything to shoot at? If so, lug your guns over here. We're gonna need them because it sounds real hot over here, and we don't have much of anything. We don't have anything in terms of. All right, so we want to get oriented just like that, and yeah, the CSA did press this way. Alright, we've traded some cavalry. I don't want to keep them in there too long. Because I do want them around to provide their morale buff for our infantry, since we don't have cover. The only thing is, we have high ground. That helps. We have artillery, which is demoralizing them. But that's about it. Jeb Stewart's cav, which I think got roughed up in that first battle. Yeah, maybe just move faster. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why you guys elected to do it this way. I gave you the fallback order, not the mountain fallback order. That was some artillery. I don't know if it's just me, but it sounds like things started up again on the right. Casualties. Well, it's not their first fight, but I guess they're pretty sensitive to that. It looks like Thomas broke, but is now rallied. Eighth Regiment is there. What did that do with that cav group? Nagel's group? Yeah, let's bring them in here, dismount them. That should help with the two units that the two regiment. Oh, are they trying something? I don't know. Trying to move around the right. They could. I don't know why Robinson has left, but you know what? Maybe we'll just move him over there. All right. Oh no. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to try to counter push here and keep them off our artillery. So far, the artillery hasn't started to take hits, but that could change anytime. Hunter's brigade is fine. We're going to have them lay down. We're going to try to rally them. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. What? I have no idea what that means. With Hunter still is to pull him back if it gets too hot. I'd say it's getting a little warm at the moment, so we're going to fall back before things get bad. They haven't started taking casualties yet, but they may well soon. I have no idea why on earth they're doing that. What is this? Still broken? Yeah, I guess it's somewhat recent. Alright, that's a new brigade. You know what, dude? Just stop. Oh, wait. No. No. I don't think these skirmishers are doing much, so we're going to recall them. If we get out of this fight, I'll redeploy them, since they didn't really get to do much here. Here, I'm going to leave these skirmishers as a bit of a speed bump in the CSA. And again, we're just trying to slow that assault until we can deal with it a bit more effectively. Alright. So now back here, we're going to kick skirmishers out, I think from the front 3 regiments. Alright, and having pushed them back with keys, we're going to fall back. If we can get that regiment, if we can get Bonham to actually fall back, we will. Alright, Hayes is falling back all over the place. Not sure why Burnside's skirmishers fell back. Sherman in the 1st Maine. They got Springfield rifled muskets. What are they doing? Yeah, I mean, look, if you're going to stick one regiment out here, I'm going to put a brigade against it. Yeah, and that's going to cause Bonham and his sweet Mississippi rifles. I mean, they're getting artilleried. They are having a bad day. Absolutely. Yeah, there's something weird with the terrain over here where they think they have to go this really, really odd way. Okay. Now we want to fall back as we have new regiments coming in. thing here, I'm not exactly sure what happened with the skirmishers. They seem to be doing too much. These guys, I think, quite clearly, yeah. I mean, it's early war. They're not going to be able to take too much punishment. That's okay. Alright, that's Powell there. Now, Kimes' brigade, we want to come... maybe right here. And then if we need to push them over more, we'll push them over more. Porter, yeah, you should just get back here, man. No idea why you would do that. I have no idea what you're doing. Whose group are you a part of? Yeah, you're part of Heinzelman. You're not supposed... Oh, my goodness, Howard. I mean, it is kind of funny, right? I don't think I've ever seen a group move that fast. Shank, who are you a part of? First Brigade, you are like entirely in the wrong position here. No, no, no. No. Just the 3rd New York. That's all you're a part of. We need you to fall back. I think... Yeah, I see you're nervous. I think we might... Yeah, we're just going to let you sit there and hopefully give a morale buff to everyone else. Denham's artillery. Ooh, do we put it over here? I don't know. Maybe it deploys over here. Alright, these guys are back. We're going to throw some skirmishers out now. Shank, I have no idea what you're doing, man. Would it? No. Would a retreat order work? I don't know. I think once these guys are healthy, right sky, we're gonna move them. Oh, look at this CSA's move here. I can't say that I understand it because I don't. I mean, this just seems like it's just, you're gonna get absolutely wrecked. And that's going to hurt you on the top line, too. Yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process was there. They all should have the cav? Yeah, they all have the cav. Yeah. I think those regiments are just about done for. The way they're getting fed in there. Alright. My goodness, Shank, man. Like, what is the issue? Sure, I don't really care how you do it. Just move back. Alright. We'll see if Burnside skirms can get down. Orders here. We're going to try to give Heinzelman's guys a rest. I feel like I've moved them around in particular a lot today. Well rested, okay, rested, tiring. Actually, they're fine. Over here, well rested generally, so that's good. And then the last one to wonder about is Keys's boys. And yeah, most of them again for being relatively green troops. I'd rather have him just stand pat. How on earth is this gonna go well? I mean, they've got to be getting shredded. Alright, so Vaughn's regiment wants to come in. Right? I don't know what is up with the terrain back here near Centerville. It's all sorts of weird. They are falling back. They're falling back. Morale should be good. Not that we need Thomas to, but he could probably do a bit of fighting. So could Butterfield if we needed him to. Let's see. Palmer, yes, forces are. I mean, we're closer together than they are. How's this group doing? Yeah, they all seem good. Are you kidding? Are they really just gonna feed those guys in? I mean, I'll take it. Yeah, I mean, that should just feed us a bunch of casualties. Alright, I do want to protect the artillery. I don't know, I assume that... Yeah, 17 casualties. You know what? Actually, Shank's got planes rifles. He should be fine. This artillery's got to, yeah, look at that. I mean, this is the third battle of the war, and the artillery is like, yeah, we're gonna try to get a perk here. So I'm just gonna let them do it. But I think, so here's the conundrum. If we move keys up, we can certainly push this back. I think that this is gonna get shredded anyways. Between the artillery, the lack of support, the skirms, and the line infantry. I just think that that's going to happen. But if we push keys up, we can potentially get... I don't think we're going to get back there. My concern was an attack out of here. That doesn't look too likely now. Yeah, and I think we're just kind of okay. Alright. Okay, I was gonna say I'm really surprised that we have not gotten closer to breaking them, but as I say that, it's getting closer. I'm still surprised they haven't broken for this being this early in the war, but all right. I think we'll have the the artillery is set to counter battery. All right, that's great. I don't think that they've only been doing counter battery, but I'm glad to see that they are doing it. Yeah, that battery is tired. Yeah. All right, and this attack absolutely has. Yeah, I mean, I know that they got Butterfield to fall back, but you know, those two regiments are like, nah. The rest of that brigade just, oh well, that's Patterson. I mean, wherever the brigade came in, 3rd Brigade, yeah, it's pretty much all Butterfield, and they seem to be out of it. I certainly think we can spare the cat. All right, that's going to be the end of this one. Makes sense. I have no complaints. That could have gone much worse. That was pretty much, I think, 50-50. The reinforcing army that hit from the south definitely surprised me. Burnside skirmishers looks like it's just some rear guard stuff, but they're probably too far off to be able to catch. That's okay. It's about to be end. It would have been about to be end of day in a little while anyways, so that's cool. We'll send him some parting shots. Wow. I guess it was like one battery. That was probably small arms. And yeah, we'll hop in. We'll see what the newspapers have to say for the actual casualties. But that was actually a pretty decent test. Again, I don't know what happened. And I don't know if it was just the officers who were in command on the other side or other things, but I was very happy that when they attacked, they did so with skirmishers out in front. If I knew how to get the AI to do it most of the time, I would do it. Brigadier General Palmer, so he was just like the overall commander. I mean, yeah, I guess. If you don't really know who to give praise to, just assume that it was the guy who was in overall command. But I thought this episode was going to be a battle in probably in Ohio or Kentucky. What do the papers say? So for them, it's like 850 out of the war, and for us, it's like 200 out of the war. So, yeah. Won't complain about that. And I don't even know if Meade is going to take too much of a readiness hit. Nah, not really. He just didn't get to go forward. Skilled cartographers, flying column. Maybe we'll go with ambulance corps. Maybe. Yeah, McDowell's been beaten down to yellow. It's rough for McDowell because, once that happens, he tends to be a bit slow in getting his readiness back, but try to help him out. Patterson, I don't have anything glaring here. I think maybe help your underlings respect their commanders a bit more. Might help. Alright, so we need to get readiness back here. That's not really a surprise. They should all be retreating. Wow. McDowell really needs readiness. So I guess since he would likely be the first one engaged in a battle, we'll put him into scouting first. And Patterson, why do you think I want to do that? I don't want to. If I wanted to move troops around, I would do it. Maybe for a little bit we can have Patterson scout. Meade actually will be able to scout soon, but the bigger fight is elsewhere, I think. And it's the CSA trying to knock me back here in Ohio, right? Outside of Kentucky. What did you not continue through with your order? I don't think you did. Curtis's division, I guess they decided they'd rather march over that land than just take a railroad, so that's why they're there. You're out of scouting, somehow you're out of forage. So the horses ain't happy. Okay, you're scouting, that's good. Gibbons scouting, that's good. He's gonna need the readiness. Yeah, you also get some other stuff. Alright, you should be able to figure out forage line. I don't know what to tell you, man. Let's see. Are the subsidies where I want them? Yeah. Yeah. Counter propaganda. Corn is king. Ba 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 ba. All's carbines. Carbines. I get it. I get it. I mean, this is, again, we kind of know what the cost is, which is that, you know, everyone involved, particularly those state casualties, are going to take a readiness hit, but like, take the hit, man. I noticed our national support dropped. I mean, their national morale came down, but their national support really hasn't. Our national morale has come up. It's kind of like fluctuated up and down. Maybe that's because the national morale is lower, but I don't know. I think once we get on the attack, you know, population should be happy once again. But all right, Burns' division. I should have renamed you too. Gerards. Doesn't matter to me what it is. Division. I know we don't have Curtis's here. I doubt we'll get it, but we'll see what happens. Are we ready for movement into... We're not quite there. We're not. I don't know if putting McClellan in scouting actually does anything when he doesn't have cavalry under his direct command. Not sure about that one, but yeah, I mean, playing at 1x, then we'll never get through this. I see you up here. All right, you're not scouting, but you should be because you have cav, right? Get in that offensive mindset. Even if being encamped might help. In other ways, we want to be in the offensive mindset. All right, you're scouting. Scouting. My goodness, blockading. You're doing the same. Yeah, like I'd be cool with that, man. You got that, and you know, Gosport is a big port, so you know, 75% block. I think we got to be pretty happy with that. And we're waiting on our ironclads to do more work there. It's mid-July. Yeah. Oh, did they just fall back when pressed? They probably did. Oh, so Curtis shows up. Right, he can at that point. Oh, so they're just going to let us have this? I wonder if they're trying to cross down here. They would. They would. Well, we got too many troops in one place. So who's a part of the 5th Corps? Burns, Sheridan, and Lovell. Well, wait a minute. By 5th Corps, did I mean 4th Corps? Yep. That's exactly what I meant. So Lovell. I know. I know. Move forward. Casey, what are you a part of? Eh? Oh, it's called Casey's division, but he got moved out. Oh, did Sheridan get wounded? Oh, so Sheridan's in charge of Casey's division. That's why that keeps confusing me. Among other reasons, right? But oh yeah, and I would know if I just looked, but I didn't. Alright, we'll move them in. Yeah, we'll move Corps Commander up. We'll take Covington. We'll see if they do anything about it. The 5th Corps ideally is going to make a play for Louisville if I can spare them. So that means those folks, particularly these folks. Yeah, if we can get some readiness here. Not happy with the forge situation either, but what else are you gonna do? And what is this? Is Gibbs? Is Gibbs the 3rd division here? Yep, Gibbs, Curtis, Gerard. All right. So, yeah, I think we'll just let him get to green and then we'll move him. Looks like he'll be able to move first. I kind of want to move these divisions out if I don't have to have them here, because they're just going to eat up supply from other things. So we're going to try to... Yes, we are. Wait, why does it say finally? We were already in Alexandria like 3 battles ago. Oh, you know why? We took a quote-unquote city that we didn't have when the scenario started. I think that's why. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I'm going to go with. Alright, and we're going to move... Yeah, we're going to move you over here in the hopes that... You know what? No, we're going to move you over here. Just to spread out the logistical demands on one area. Yeah, we'll camp you there, see if you get resupplied there. Oh. I'm going to float you down. Yeah, I've not made an interior. You know, I would normally have taken one out of St. Louis, but we don't have St. Louis. So, this is actually a good reminder that we ought to create an interior, brown water navy. Fleets. Create a new one. No, Indiana, Evansville's fine, I think. And we'll just put, you know, nothing great here, but bare minimum to get the job done. King Philip and his war. Alright, oh, we have ironclad gunboats ready. Well, I don't... Yeah, you know what? In the interior... Oh, you know what's really bad is that I think I'm so bankrupt I can't order more. Yep. Yep. So I gotta use them sparingly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind putting some on the Brown Water Navy, but I think we're going to be able to hit the CSA a bit harder if we just focus on the East Coast for now and take some of those fort ports. And maybe our credit situation will improve at some point, and we won't have to deal with that. But we'll try to make a good enough Brown Water force here that, you know, we can defend ourselves if we have to. And it's a war, we should have to. Alright, that's cool. Ship tender gunboat. What else am I going to do with that? Yeah, throw it on here. And we'll have them do that. Meanwhile, I think we create a new fleet. And it's going to be... Yeah, I think we make it a little bit more combat-oriented. And so we do that, and... create a new fleet, sure. And... Newark, yeah. No. We don't want a river port. Epscombe is fine for a seaport. And right now it only has ironclad gunboats, but that will change. And let's see, what do we got? 1, 2, 3. So what do we do? 4 of each. And then do another one. I think so. Tom's River is fine for the other one. Create new fleet. Tom's River. Alright. And just move those ironclads into it. And then the monitors are ready. Well, when the... so that already has 4. Yeah, I mean, we could have made... You know, we're just going to do that. And we'll figure some of the other stuff out later. Yeah, I think that's good. And I think that that's good for me for now. You can see here that Patterson... Yeah, Patterson. All right, so Patterson is in scouting, so I guess that helps. And I wasn't really paying attention. That doesn't help. Look at that. McDowell's already getting a battle flag. Sure, we'll reward him with whatever that is. But yeah, you can just see McDowell's. It's already struggling to get it back, to get the readiness back. Meade, for sure. All right, we're going to have him do his thing. I'm not sure any of that is real, that Army of Virginia stuff, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. This is bad. Yeah, this is bad. We don't want to see too much of that. But we do have Covington. And we got to think about the next stuff. I don't think I would think too hard. I mean, I think we want to fight here. Yeah, I mean, if we can't stay here long for supply reasons, let's not stay here long for supply reasons. And let's just, we don't need river movement. We don't want to be disembarking while attacked by, you know, other stuff. So let's just move and fight, and you know what? If it goes terribly, it goes terribly. It may. It's our first fight. We're fighting on enemy territory. I don't really expect to win, but maybe we will. But it's probably gonna have to wait for another episode. Alright, folks. That's it for me. That's it for this one. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And I hope to have you back for episode 4.